Good morning. How is everybody doing? Happy Tuesday. If you're finding me for the first time, my name is Penny. I come here every day at around 9, around this time, or 9:30. But today I'm home, so I'm a little delayed because I was trying to have my breakfast before I can come here. So when you come in, please share this video and invite your friends to like my page. And I do put out reels, share my reels. That's a way to support me. You don't have to give me financial support directly, but you can share my reels, and that's going to promote me, because then Facebook is going to pay me for that. Because what they do, they put commercials on our live stream, and then they get the money, and when they get the money, they send us money. So we are going to talk about, I was trying to find the page, I don't know. This is hard than I thought. No, that's not the page. Okay, guys, give me a minute. I am so sorry. This is not how I wanted to do this. I should have been more organized. But I guess, like I always say, I'm not perfect. I am not well organized. But tell me you can hear me, and tell me where you're watching me from while I do this. And then we can continue. Okay, tell me where you are. Okay, I found the page. I was looking for the page. Bossy, good morning. Where are you? Missouri, Kingsmith, Missouri. Nice. Hello. Good morning. There, I got that. So every Tuesday, we are going to be talking about different things that affect us as people, and different things, people want me to talk about, or just bring more awareness, or North Carolina beautiful, or just things that you're dealing with. Last week we spoke about women who have children with 5 men, and they have 5 children, and how that's so hard. Today we want to talk about toxic parents. And before we talk about toxic parents, I want to stress one thing. I want to stress that life, Annie, thank you for the stars. Actually, you can give me stars too. That's something that is very good, and it's going to boost me to make time so I can come here and talk. I want us to make something very clear. Life is for the people who are living. Oh, South Africa, Naomi, how are you? Please welcome me. Can you slide into my inbox and give me your contact? I want to come to South Africa. Life is for those people who are living. And when we talk about the people who are living, it's me and you who has logged on to this Facebook page today. We need to focus on the people that are here. The people that are gone, we do miss them, but we don't want to dwell on the past. We don't want to live in the past of people who are no longer with us, and people who we cannot bring back. Okay, life is for the living. I want us to adapt this phrase and follow it through and sing it. Remind yourself that life is for the living. Life is not for the people who are dead. Life is for the people who are here right now and who are living, who are breathing. We are going to focus on those people. We are not going to focus on the people who are gone, because they are gone. All we have from them is memories. Life is for the people who are living. Say that to yourself as many times as you can. You will find that you're going to change the way you see life. You will find that you're going to prosper, because you know what you're living. The ones who are gone, they are actually gone. You cannot bring people back who are dead. You can only deal with people who are here and who are healthy. And for you to be healthy, we need to get these things together, which means we need to get our lives together so we can enjoy life like everybody else by living the moment. So let's talk about today I really wanted to share this because this is a big topic. Okay, so after I've said that, I want to talk about growth. when it's shared and prosperity, if you want to grow, most of our parents' problems stem from growth and sharing growth. Once you've gained some kind of growth and your parents have raised you and maybe you've become this star, you become this successful person, you find that your parents want to just, for some reason, they just want to claim some of your growth. And in some cases, like in Africa, once you have so much money, all that money that you have gained through your growth belongs to them. There's nothing wrong with you growing and sharing your prosperity. So once you've grown, once I become very famous on Facebook, once I make so much money, I am going to share my prosperity. And that is how we end up in some of the issues that we end up with, because our parents become toxic. So let's start with the first thing. We need to remember, number one, that your parents were children at one time. Your parents could have a sibling or they could be the only child. You need to remember that your parents had parents. So your parents were raised like me and you. And your parents became your parents because of the choices they made. Your mother picked your father. Your father picked your mother. They chose to have sex. Whether they chose, or whether they were raped, or whether they were drunk, whichever way, they chose to make those choices. Okay? And you were born. So your parents are a series of choices. You are a series of choices. You're not going to be anybody different. That is why my dad has brothers and has sisters. My mom has brothers, has sisters. And when I talk to my children, yesterday we were having a very nice conversation with my children. I told them, because of my father's choices, that is why they are here. I told them, because of my choices, after I realized that, I was blessed. I found myself in boarding school in 6th grade. That was like unheard of. My brothers found themselves in America in the 80s. You know what I mean? Like, that's a long time. No, sorry, the 70s. That is a choice my father made when my cousins were still in the village. Nobody knew about America. My father made the choice to study, to read the newspaper. Faith, thank you for your stars. So he can discover America and send us. I am beautiful and glowing, as you can see me, through a series of choices that my parents made. We need to understand that. Don't take sides and start thinking, I should have been here, I should have been here. No, your parents made choices for you. That's why you're here. Mothers, I'm going to start with mothers. Mothers tend to blame the fathers for where they are. It is always women who are blaming the fathers for the reason they are where they are. Mothers, women, you have a choice who to make the father of your children. Last week we talked about having 5 children with 5 men. That is a choice you make. If you have 5 children with 5 men, every father is going to take care of their children. Now, I saw a clip a few days ago where a father wanted to bring his son lunch to a woman that has 3 children with 3 different men. And the woman took the food and threw the food. And the man said, you know what? I only made 1 child with you. I'm not going to cater for the other children. Find the fathers. Let the fathers take care of those children. We don't take giving birth to children seriously. But you should take it seriously enough. Because these parents, most of these parents who are toxic, they made bad choices. Now things are not looking good for them. They made a series of bad choices. Now they want to flip it on the children that have made good choices for themselves. You snap, you're like, God, why did my mom choose my dad? God, why did my dad choose my mom? So you decide, like, you know what? This is not going to be me. And I remind the children that every week. I have 4 children here. Every week I remind them that your choices are going to make you your choices. I have 8 brothers and we are 8 of us. My father had 21 children. We are a series of choices. I'm not going to be my sister. I'm not going to be my brother. Don't blame your parents. There is a time you have to take responsibility and set your destination. If you want to go to Japan, go to Japan. If you want to go to India, go to India. If you want prosperity, set your destination to prosperity. I see you. Good morning, Lydia. Good morning, Irene. I see you guys. Thank you guys for those ones who are giving me stars. Please give me stars because I'm using a lot of energy. When I leave here, I have to go eat something. Okay, like my page, share this video, do that for me. You make choices where you want to go. I decided that I was not going to subscribe to the bread of poverty. My children grew up and found me trying to help this one. We all had equal opportunities. But here we are, siblings, hating each other, not liking each other, because of the choices our parents make. Now, in Africa, unfortunately, all they need is one successful child, especially the firstborn child. The firstborn children have been, I can't even say their life is taken away because the parents put the burden on them. You find a mother, she keeps having so many children and she's burdening the younger children, the older child to take care of these children. In the process, if it's a man, he marries a woman and they are constantly giving their money. If it's a woman, you're constantly taking your husband's money and you're sending it to I don't know who. You're constantly making your parents' choices. Making your parents' choices your choices. You're taking your money, you're giving this, you're doing this, and if you don't do it, the parents have this way of making you think that you know what, you're going to fail. In Kisi, my mother used to tell me, I'm a strong believer of choices. I don't chicken about it. I don't feel anything about it. I have no shame in my game to say that I'm here because of my series of choices. My mother would tell me that, you know what, she would tell me, stop being so proud because you know what, those your siblings, they were unfortunate, right? The Africans have a way of refusing to accept that you made a series of good choices for yourself, to start a business, to work 2 jobs, to go back to school, to choose somebody who you're going to have children with one man, get into a relationship and stay faithful, keep a job, don't drink and drive, don't take drugs, don't smoke. The parents have a hard time with a sibling, with a child that decided that, you know what, I am not going to go to that route. And when you come strong and say, I am not going to take this is their choices, they have to live with their choices, they will tell you that, you know what, you're so proud, you're going to fail. And if you keep being so proud, you're going to fail, you're going to lose all that you've achieved. They have a way to manipulate you to feel bad for saying no, you're not able to do certain things. They have self-centered behaviors. They have a way to talk you into feeling that, you know what, I am wrong in what I just said. No. If your sister keeps having children, she has 8 children, she's not married, she has no income. Your brother keeps drinking every day, he's drunk. Your brother keeps doing drinking and driving. Your brother keeps beating the wife. Your siblings keep making these bad choices. The Africans have a way to take that burden to that one child, to that one of their older siblings, or whatever child, you could even be the last, and burden the child that is making good choices. And the parents will put you through a guilt trip by making you feel like you're just being horrible and someday you're gonna fall and nobody's gonna pick you. Then my question, I always ask my mom, okay, if I'm the one who's gonna fall, who's gonna pick me? Because already they are down. But I'm thinking like, Mom, this is a series of choices. My mother was a third wife. I used to try and remind her, you chose to be a third wife. There's nothing wrong. Take responsibility and say, yes, I chose to be a third wife. Here we are. We are having all kinds of issues because we're in a polygamous family. Some of our siblings just don't like each other. Some of my immediate children that we share the same mom, same dad, don't like each other. But we share mother. And some of these problems stem from the parents. Why did dad have to marry so many wives? Why do these women want to marry one man? Like all these things all these choices they're making. And then when we try to say that we are not taking that route, if my daughter is going to say, I'm not taking this route, I start acting a certain way to make her feel guilty for saying, I'm not going to take my mother's path. Some parents are physically abusive. They used to beat you. Some parents used to hit you. Yesterday I said my mother called me a donkey. And by the way, when I say that, it is no offense for those ones who think that it's bad for me to say that about my mother. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm a big person on words. You can't call me a bitch. You can call me names and we talk again. Once you call me names, we are kind of done. My mom used to call me a donkey. I'm like, why would she call me a donkey? So some of your parents were physically abusive because they were taking this anger on them. Because you know what? Why should your mom beat you so bad? Why should your mom call you names so bad? Why should your dad tell you all kinds of things? They have these controlling behaviors by calling you names, things that you don't want to even remember. Because when you remember, your heart sinks. Parents have manipulative behaviors. In Kisi, they will say, "Ngo koragerelinde." They will start scaring you out, or they're going to curse you out. Or even you one day, they're not even saying. A proper mother will not start cursing you and telling you all these things. A proper mother will redirect you. They will not try to tell you that, you know what, one day you're going to fail. Why would those words come out of your mother's mouth? Why would those words come from your father's mouth? That, oh, you know, one day you're going to lose all your finances, you're going to be poor. They have these manipulative behaviors where they want to tell you or to make you feel that it's your fault, that everything has gone wrong with their empire. Their empire is the choices they made to marry my father. Their empire is the choices they made to marry my mother. I didn't make those choices. I chose a father for my children. My husband chose a mother for his children. I don't know if he chose, and that's why I don't believe in come we stay. I don't believe in dating for 20 years. I don't believe in dating for 5 years. If you want someone, make a conscious decision and choose a father for your children from day one. Make a conscious decision and choose a mother from day one. This thing of come we stay for whatever reason, and then the next thing you keep having children, then the next thing you decide, you know what, I really don't want you. Some of these parents lack boundaries. Okay, once you get married, how many marriages have been broken because of a mother-in-law? How many marriages have been broken because of a father-in-law? These parents come into your marriage and now they want to manipulate you in your marriage. They want to meet your husband. Some mothers will talk to your husband about you. Some fathers will talk to your husband about you. Some parents will badmouth you to your spouse. You already left them. You decided to start your own life. You put your destination. You're going to Japan. They take a flight to Japan. They come to Japan and tell your husband that, you know what, Penina was such a horrible girl. I don't even know how you even put up with her. They come and start bad-mouthing you in your new marriage. Because you know what? They have no boundaries. They want you to agree with everything they are saying. If you don't agree with everything they are saying, they are just going to explode and find a way to destroy your family. There are so many parents that have destroyed their children's marriages just because they could not leave these children alone. They are all in their space. You pick someone. I have had men tell me they left good women and married horrible women that their mothers chose for them. How are you thinking your mother is going to choose a spouse for you? Your mother was once a child. She made a series of choices. That's where you are, where you are. That's why we have the bush. That's why we have Walmart. That's why we have Amazon. Your parents made choices for you. Miggy, you know what? I'll see you on Friday. You see, Miggy, you don't have children yet. Know that I know. You're already trying to pave your way for your children. So when your children are going to be born, they're going to be born in a home. My children, I said, you know what? I wanted my children to travel the world. I wanted my children to be able to eat anything they want to eat. In this house, you can eat anything. Literally, I can afford anything. When I grew up, you could not even afford ice cream. If the ice cream truck is passing out here, I'm able. There is money everywhere. In fact, in my house, you can pick $5 here, $10 here. When you're doing laundry, there is money in the pockets. I want to, because I have a business. I can sell sandals, somebody pays me, I have $20. I can sell necklace, somebody pays me, I have $100. And you know what? I have money for my children to do whatever they need to do. But I tell my children, this is my money. It is choices that I'm making. Maybe you decided that, you know what, I'm going to start singing. I'm going to go into politics now. I'm going to start something for my children. Now your sister is somewhere seated. Now your brother is somewhere seated. Your mother is somewhere there watching you. And once you achieve these things, which is what we're calling growth and prosperity, which sharing is not a bad thing. Growth, prosperity. Once you've grown, then you share it. Prosperity. If I have excess, I can give my sibling. We've had stories of so many people that we are raising money for. When they were well, they were working and sending their parents money. They were working and sending their siblings money. When everything was okay, they were sending everybody else money. If I have 8 siblings and I send everybody $100, that is seven siblings. That is $700. If I have 10, if you have 6, you're so busy sending money to everybody else and you're not putting something for yourself. Why? Because you have this manipulative mother, you have this manipulative father that is making you feel guilty that your growth must be shared. You're not going to share because you have excess. No, you're going to take loans. You're going to steal from your husband. You're going to steal from your wife. So you can share because your mom is manipulating you with curse, or she's going to curse you out, or he's going to curse you out. You're being manipulated. Where were your parents? Why didn't they achieve financial success? Ask yourself. My father did. My father was a millionaire. Why didn't your parents achieve financial success? My father made choices for himself. He woke up at 4 a.m. He believed in hard work. He believed in putting the effort. He did not drink. He did not smoke. He did not eat the bread of idleness. And then now you think his brother is going to sit somewhere and say, oh, Ongweni, you're so proud. One day you're going to fail. No. Here I am. Ongwenyi's child. Whatever the brothers were thinking, whatever the sisters were thinking, here I am. I'm in white, crystal white. By the way, I put white to symbolize the parents. A parent was once a child, clean. And then with time, they start making choices. They add this, they add that, they add that. And before you know it, your mom is very poor because she's always drunk. Before you know it, your father is very poor because he's always drunk. Before you know it, your parents are poor because they are always gossiping. They're in the corner. They are here. They are there. They are making all the horrible choices. And then now they cannot afford school fees. Now they want to see a sibling that is doing well, and they want to tell the sibling, oh, you know what? It all pays school fees for this. And These parents do not give their children something that is called privacy. And you can even tell when the children are growing up. Some of you parents, you walk into your children's room, you go there, you yank this, you have no respect for your children. You go to your children's phone, you read through the messages. Some of the children are like teens. They are dying for privacy. You come to your daughter's house, you want to walk around the house. You go to your son's house, you want to inherit everything. Some mother-in-laws come to your house and they want to take your shoes, they want to take your hats, they want to take everything in your house. They want to pick pots. They come to your house that you have married your husband and you're staying, your mother, and she wants to take this, they want to take this. And some of the mother-in-laws are coming into the homes to make decisions with their sons. Where are the boundaries? How can you marry a woman? How can you marry a man? And your mom and your dad are in your house. How can you earn a living? I showed you my workspace the other day. In fact, my workspace is, today I have so much work to do. I'm growing corn. I have chicken. I have clothes from Kenya. I'm selling waist beads. I'm making necklaces. I'm doing all kinds of things. I'm bringing all this money in. And then my mother is sitting somewhere, or my father is sitting somewhere, or my husband's mother is somewhere, my husband's father is somewhere, waiting to take this money. I don't even have time for myself. You don't even self-care. And you know, they make you think that, you know what, one day you're going to be cursed. And you know, once you start thinking that, you internalize that. The other thing they do is telling everybody they can find. Penina. You failed. If you are so successful, rich finances, rich parents, not even rich in finance, rich in wisdom, you don't go around talking about your son, how they have money and they can't help you. You don't go around telling people how your daughter has all this money now. She did this, she's going to fail. They go around telling everybody who can listen to them how horrible you are. And you are their child. And you know what? They made those choices for you. A proper mother is not going to go out there and start telling everybody that, oh, now my daughter nowadays, she's very famous. She made all this money. They tell anybody who can listen about you, because you know what? You are a series of choices. You've made good choices for yourself. But because they made bad choices for themselves, when you correct them, they make it a point to see anybody they can see and just talk about you. Always talking about their children to other people. A sister, they talk about you to their sister. They talk about you to their brother. They talk about you to your other siblings. They talk about you to everybody. They will tell anybody who can listen how horrible of a child you are. And it's because you are redirecting them. You are telling them, Mom, my destination is Japan. If you're going to India, you go to India. Me, I'm going to Jamaica. You go to Europe. If you want to go to Europe, you chose your destination, mother. You chose your destination, father. You're not going to put me through all these guilt trips because of a series of choices you made until you put us here where we are. I've ranted. In fact, I have ranted. It is something that really I'm passionate about. Parents have destroyed their children. Parents have destroyed families. And in the process, by the time they are old, if your parents helped you to finish your marriage, by the time your parents are old, they're not going to get the proper care. They're not going to get the help that they need, because my husband and I need to be together so we can have proper care for our parents. But if my mother breaks me up with my husband, if my father-in-law, my in-laws break me with my husband, when it's going to be time for me to care for our parents, we are not going to be able to do that. Just because when they were younger, and when they were like the time that they were supposed to make good choices, they were doing rubbish. Your parents can do rubbish. Let me tell you, some parents do rubbish. When I tell you rubbish is rubbish. Some parents spend so much time doing rubbish, making bad choices. And you know what? They want to shove those bad choices in your face and tell you, you know what? Or you're my child. For those ones who are Christians, right? Like me, I'm Seventh-day Adventist. The Bible says that even the parents need to put their brakes. It doesn't mean because you're a parent, you're always right. So, my good people, done ranting. Let me drink water. Becky, thank you. Let me drink water and land this plane. Okay? Life is for us who are living. You see how Becky, by the way, compliments me today. I put a little lip gloss. Today I tried to look good. Nyando chevere. I gave it a lift, okay? And my nails are painted purple and yellow. I lifted up a little bit because this topic is very painful. I just had to look cute for such a topic, okay? Remember, I want to remind everybody that how you feel about your parents, let me tell you, you're right. Don't ever feel guilty about how you feel about your parents. You're right. And I want to use my mom, and she knows. She had no reason of marrying as a third wife. Bad choice. I'm sorry. I know I love Dad, but third wife, I'm number 18? Really? No. Bad choice. Yes, Mom said, she justified the choice. You know, Penina, I could have married a poor man, but I wanted a man that was more stable. Mom, were you a gold digger? Were you looking for money from Dad? Okay, fine. How about you make your own money, Mom? That time there were no opportunities. Well, too bad. The choice is done. Becky, thank you for your stars. The choice is done. And I'm giving you my story about my mom because you know what? Your feelings about your mother and your father are valid. Don't feel guilty for feeling how you feel. I do not want to be number 18 of 21 children. That was a mess. Big mess. Set healthy boundaries. My mom is 84. She knows what to expect. I'm in charge of her. I tell her, I'm in charge of you. You used to be in charge of me. Your parents, after some times, they just lose it. You have to be in charge of your parents. Set boundaries. There's something my mom is doing now that is so funny that I have to really, like, it's hard. If my mom sees me with this dress, she'd be like, oh, that's a nice dress. There's a time she saw me with a strapless dress. She's like, ndetere you. I'm like, Mama, this is not for your age. She's like, just bring. Help your mom because they lose it. Help your dad. Set those boundaries. They don't know how. They don't know how. Help them, okay? Create those boundaries. Do not try to change your parents to suit who you are, because you cannot be your parents. Your parents cannot be their parents. Do not try to change your parents. I don't know if my sister Margaret is watching. Me and my sister had oh Maggie, I miss you, by the way. We just had such a big laughter. Every time my mom saw like something she wanted. I mean, she's not on Facebook. I don't know who's gonna tell her what I'm saying, but I'm not like saying a bad thing, it's truth. She wants the sandals. So I said, Mom, these sandals, you will fall. They don't have straps. The ones with that. She says, find me ones with a strap. Okay. She saw a belt, a Maasai belt from home. She says, hey, Penina, where did you get this belt? That's my mom. I said, oh, from Kenya. I gave her the belt. So I'm saying, don't set those healthy boundaries and don't get upset. Remember, your mom is your mom. Your dad is your dad. Once you set those boundaries, don't try to change them to be what you want them to be, because your children are coming behind you. My daughter wants to try and make me understand. Yesterday, Sydney was trying, it's a discussion we need to come and have with her. It was hard. She's trying to tell me that Come We Stay is the best way. My God. Hey, Come We Stay is the best way, Mom. How do you marry somebody you don't know after the wedding and then you find out that they're horrible? That's what she believes. So some of the things, the conflicts that we have are culture, religion, and what you believe as a person. So you trying to get your mom to be on the same page with you, it's not happening. Set realistic expectations for your parents. For instance, for me, right now what I want from my mom at 84 who had a stroke, I want her to walk. So I call her, I'm setting things for her because now I'm in charge of her. I'm telling her things I know she can achieve. The goal my mom has is to wake up out of the bed and walk and eat properly and don't lay in bed all day and stop crying. My mom's goals right now, they're just basic. The same way your parents had goals for you, set realistic goals for your parents. Don't expect your parents to do things they can't do. It's too late of a game. They already put Japan as their destination. They're in Japan. Moving from Japan to India is a little too late in the game. Don't try to push that. Okay? Another thing, there is something called lost time. Lost time is when you spend so much time fighting your parents and you lost the time. Because what's going to happen, where I am right now, I'm fighting with my children the way I fought with my parents. Don't lose out on taking care of your parents because you're fighting with them, trying to change them and trying to make them feel some kind of way. Set a time for your mom. Set a time for your dad. Set some financial support if your parents are the broke parents or their parents who didn't make good financial choices. Set a standard amount that you give your parents every month. $100, $200, whatever you're able to give. If you're in Kenya, give 100 shillings, whatever country you're in. Give your parents according to what you can afford and make it a monthly bill the way you pay your light bill. Make it a monthly bill the way you pay your car. Set an allowance for your mom. My father-in-law has an allowance for calling the grandchildren, $50 to call. I just send him every 2 weeks. Sometimes I forget. I just send the money for him to call. Not because he's broke, but I just want him to get I'm giving him a goal, because those are the goals I'm telling you. Give your parents goals because they have nothing else to do. Dad is retired. What is he doing? Dad, here's credit. Call all your grandkids. Start 1, 2, 3. They're all over the world, and make sure you talk to them. Make time for your parents. Fly to Kenya. Fly to whatever country your parents are. Spend 2 hours with your parents. You're going to regret, because your children are going to be the same way, and history is going to repeat itself. Be honest with your parents. Don't pretend. Don't lie to your parents. Be an honest person. Maintain the respect. While you are disagreeing, you see I was getting so hot, now I'm calm. Okay? While you are disagreeing with your parents, don't come out disrespectful, because the parents' heart sinks when my daughter is talking to me. There are things Cindy tells me, my heart drops, and I just tell her, let me make ginger tea. I make ginger, I put lemon, and I put turmeric and honey and tea leaves. Sometimes there are things my daughter has told me that need a concussion to boost my immune system. So maintain the respect. When you're bringing those things to your parents' attention, or you're dealing with these toxic parents or toxic siblings, is another day. Maintain the respect. And finally, if your parents were so toxic and you are mentally unstable, if your parents made choices that put you in a bad situation, if your parents keep telling you things that hurt you, we have to do the check, the call, and the care. Check yourself. Are your parents toxic enough that they're destroying your life? Are your parents toxic that they are affecting your sleep patterns? Are your parents toxic that they are helping you finish your marriage? Are your parents toxic that you are abusing substance because your parents said things that you cannot take back? Go see a therapist. A therapist is me. And by the way, I'm warning you people, nowadays I give you guys my time for free. Sooner or later you have to pay me to talk to me. See someone to guide you through. Because you know what? I'm seeing somebody too. Somebody is guiding me. Don't think I'm guiding myself. There is somebody guiding me. That's how I'm glowing. That's how I'm able to maintain the family. There is somebody who is putting it together for me. They check, they call, get somebody to put it together for you. And finally, do self-care. So you guys usually see me in the car when I'm at work. I don't look this way. So today I did the self-care. This is how I look after I did a little grooming. I put the earrings, I put my white dress, I put my ponytail, I put a little gel. Self-care. Don't worry about everybody else but yourself. Do not neglect yourself. You are first. Once you put yourself together, then you can put your family together. Then you can put your children together. Then you can put your job together. Make sure you take care of yourself. A little enhancement today gave me this look. How do I look? I look great. But not every day I'm looking great. And that's why I come high, come on other days. But you see, self-care, a little self-focus, self-awareness is going to give you results, and you're going to grow. Don't occupy yourself with everybody's business but your business. I have to pen down because I took this day so I can do things to make my mother proud, to make my dead father proud. I want to be the child that makes my parents proud. I strive to make them proud, and I correct them and let them know that this is the times we are living. And I'm encouraging my daughter to do the same. I'm telling Cindy, times are changing, mommy, but I want you to come slow. Be calm. Let us blend in. Let us fade this generation thing out in a way. I'm lucky, or I'm blessed that I had a daughter, so I'm passing on whatever I have. You can't do that if you cannot mind your business and self-care. Self-care is everything. If you don't take care of yourself, nobody is going to take care of you. Manage your finances. Always refuse to subscribe to the bread of poverty. I'm going to read Jennifer's comment. Mom still works at 73 because retiring, the health declined. Dad died 7 years ago, but I have a second chance to be with my mom a lot more because I messed that up with my dad. Give advice. Giving advice to mom to walk and help lose weight. She takes offense to it, yet she complains about it. You're doing really a good job helping so many. Thank you so much. Yes, that's all the goals I have for my mom. Can you imagine? She has no goals. Don't feel bad about it, just redirect her, be consistent, Jennifer, and don't push. Just be mom. Remind yourself that she's like a little baby. Praise them. Tell them that, like now I'm calling, after I hang up, I'm calling my mom. I'm going to praise her. I'm going to tell her, you're walking, you did good. The doctor's report looks good. When we go for the blood work, everything looks good. And then I go there, we take a walk. I praise her. Her brain has gone back to like a child. Her goals are just to start walking. Remember when you were little, your mom encouraged you to walk. Can you imagine now we are encouraging our parents to walk? We are encouraging our parents to eat well. My son today, Ryan, came to ask me to buy noodles. I don't feed my children noodles here. I want my kids to eat healthy. Do you know when the parents get old, they want to eat junk food? They want to eat candy. They want to eat sweet food. And they are diabetic. They have all kinds of issues. The same way when you were little, she was taking away all the bad things. You have to do the same thing for her. But be patient. You can lose it. But myself, I'm very patient with my mom. In fact, I'm in charge of her. I tell her she's one of my children. I'm like, I'm in charge of you. And I always tell her, Mom, that's how I start. I'm telling you something. And I tell her, this one is not a choice. This one is a directive. I'm giving you choices. And that's how I've raised my children. When I talk to my children, they have choices and they have directives. I explain to her why I'm giving her a directive or why I'm giving her a choice. And in many cases, my mom is so funny. She doesn't like choices. She kind of like gets offended when I do directives. But when I give her choices, she ends up telling me, Kora, I have no target. She tells me, just decide what you want. And that's what life is all about. When you're given directives, you become defiant. But when you're given choices, people don't know that, they don't even know what to do with the choices. You need to make the choices. When you offer them those choices, they are like, anyway, decide what you want. So always identify when it's a directive that is going to help your parent or when it's a choice that is going to help your parent. Don't mix those two things. You have to separate them for you to succeed, to have that relationship with your parents. Because you don't want to look back and say, you know what, I should have. Yes, Jennifer, go in like that. Go in with a directive and an order, but identify. Be clear, be specific. Like, Mom, we are going to do this and that. Mom, this is this. You explain, Dad, this is. And they process, they take a while to think about what you just said. And they will be like, oh, okay. They are like children, the same way your kids. Ryan came to just try and tell me to order noodles. I'm like, noodles are not good for you. And I'm very clear with the children. I'm like, you know what? This one is not a choice. We always have to identify the difference between a choice and a directive. A directive is something that somebody has put their time, they have done research, and they have decided that is going to be beneficial to you. A choice is more of a luxury. You can choose to be like, you know what, I don't want to do this, especially when it's coming from a caregiver. I'm talking about caregiving. Some things is good to give your parents choices, because if you give your parents choices to lay in bed all day and then they're going to become dead weight, who's the caregiver who's going to be carrying your mom in and out of bed? You don't want that to happen. So you call them every day if they're not in your house, and you wake them up and say, Mom, with a caregiver, like I'll call and talk to the caregiver and say, take Mom out, go out and take a walk. Good people. This talk is supposed to have been 10 minutes, but there was no way this discussion was going to be 10 minutes. This is what it is. This is where we are. Thank you for watching. And everything that I say is what I believe, and some of the things are facts. we are not going to change. You don't have to subscribe to everything that I say. Pick whatever can help you because you're a different person than I am, and put it together in your own way and set a good destination for you, because our final thing is for us to grow. Growth is what we are looking for. And once you grow, like now you guys have grown me. I have 84,000 following that is earning me money. That is growth. Okay? Once I've grown, I'm going to share the growth. Sharing growth is what puts communities together. Sharing growth is what makes happy people. Sharing growth is what makes healthy minds. Because once I have, you have. Once you gain, I gain. When I get something, I share it with you. With that said, where are my Kenyan people? $10 credit. Where is that number? Thank you for watching. Please share this video. And I am grateful. Keeping up with Penny O is not without you. You're the reason that I'm here. And thanks for watching. Put that number. If you've never received credit from me, put that number. I have a way to track the number. So if you've done it, please don't do it. Just one number. And I will give someone credit. Cheers. And guys, thanks for watching and have a blessed day.